Today, Vice President Kamala Harris announced an unprecedented rule to require minimum staffing standards in nursing homes nationwide has now been finalized. That's according to the White House. KXAN investigator Avery Travis first told you about this rule when it was proposed. Avery, that was back in 2023. So you're joining us now with more really on why this administration has been pushing for this change.
Right, Jen. It's something that we heard, actually a promise President Biden made during one of his State of the Union addresses. You know, he said he wanted to crack down on nursing homes who were putting their residents at risk, primarily through understaffing. You know, they really described the dangers of that. So this rule would require 0.55 hours of care from a registered nurse to each resident in those skilled nursing facilities every single day. It also would require 2.45 hours of care from a nurse aide. And then it's also going to ensure that these facilities have a registered nurse on site 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, when this was first proposed last year, we told you the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS as it's more commonly called, said that the majority of facilities across the country, almost 75%, would have to bolster their staffing to meet that requirement. So it was definitely something that was going to be difficult for nursing homes to comply with.
Okay, during the commercial break, we were talking about how since I've been here, you've been covering this issue and really focused on the staffing shortages in the nursing homes. So how will that affect the ability for those nursing homes to really comply with this rule?
As we've seen across the healthcare profession, they're having trouble filling these jobs, but particularly in the skilled nursing industry, it was exacerbated during the pandemic. We know this population was hit particularly hard with coronavirus and battling that and trying to keep people safe, and staff as well. So we know that this has been something that the industry has been talking about and really raising a red flag about for years. They were very, very strong at the outset of this proposal, pushing back, saying, you know, homes are not going to be able to meet this requirement. In fact, many people saying they were worried that homes were going to have to close down or stop accepting residents. So that might make an access issue for people who need to put their loved ones in this kind of facility. That's something we heard a lot, actually just a couple of months ago up at the U.S. Capitol. U.S. Rep. Michelle Fischbach of Minnesota and a coalition of mostly Republican lawmakers put forth a bill that would block exactly this type of rule that we saw finalized today. They wanted to block the Department of Health and Human Services from finalizing minimum staffing standards like these. They were calling it, you know, a one-size-fits-all rule that just isn't going to work for every home. Now, Fischbach and other lawmakers say that they're actually really focused on primarily rural nursing homes, so areas that may only have one of this type of facility. Since the White House announced the rules being finalized, it's not clear the impact that that's going to have on Fischbach's bill. But we do want to note that there was a lot of pushback from, you know, even our Congressman Doggett, who you just spoke with earlier in the show. He, you know, came out and said, along with 100 other lawmakers, that they wanted the proposal to be stronger. They wanted to see even more hours of care required just to make sure that residents in these facilities are not being left without help, without attendance, that they're not falling and not getting assistance getting up, things like that. So it's really an issue that I want to bring it back to the people living in these facilities. You know, there's a lot of emotion when you're putting a loved one in a skilled nursing facility and how they are cared for. So on both sides, we're hearing a lot of emotions about this proposal. Like we said, the White House announced the rule being finalized today. So we'll be watching through the rest of the week as that gets rolled out. We'll have a little bit more from that finalized rule and, of course, how it's going to be implemented in states like ours here in Texas.
All right, Avery Travis, always on it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jennifer.